What's up, y'all? Cattle Prod back again. Imbalmer. Some Ohio death metal. I don't even know what the name of this fucking album's called. I don't know, it's that red one. Can y'all read that? I can't read that. Fuck it. Emanations from the Crypt. I knew that. I can read. I don't know, they do that faded red on black. It's hard to see and read. Especially when you look at the track listings on the back. The lyrics are fucking hard to read too. Doesn't matter. Fucking sounds cool. That's what matters. Isn't that the lead singer of Carnegie right now? With Chris Dora and drums? I think so. That guy is like 50-something years old. He's still harder than fuck, man. He was doing this shit in the 90s. Here it is, 2025. The dude's still doing it. I mean, you know. So is Chris Dora on drums. He was in Integrity for, you know, a while, that hardcore band. And he's out there playing with Carnegie. That's some sick shit. There's some good tracks on here, y'all. Brutal Ohio death metal. The brutal Ohio people. Got a little thank you list in there. I don't know if y'all can read that. If you can't, I understand. I damn near can't read it myself. Got a huge thank you list. You know, this thank you list back in the day when we read these, this is how we found out about bands. Oh, I never heard of that band. Who's that band? You know? Talk about labels and fanzines and stuff. That's how you knew you were underground, because you would read this shit. Back then when we could actually fucking read it. Can't read it these days. Eyes have fucking gone to shit. Read that and find out about all the bands that are in there. And thank you to all these bands. Give you right stuff right there. New stuff to go look up. Back before the internet, you know, you had to go to like record stores and distros and stuff like that and find out how to get those. I think Josh from the Swamp was talking about, he mentioned this a long time ago to me. He was like, do you remember getting the catalogs, writing everything down, putting a check or a money order in there, waiting 6 weeks to get the shit? Yes, Josh, I do remember those days. Remember them quite well. Honestly, there's parts of it I actually miss. Because a lot of times you didn't know what that shit sounded like. You had no clue. You got an album, you had no idea what it was. You were like, it's death metal, let's get it. Sometimes, most times you were just like happy to have something. But yeah, sometimes you listen to it and you're like, yeah, it's not my favorite. But along the timeline, like, for instance, here's a for instance. The first time I heard Deceased, Blueprints for Madness, back in the 90s, when I saw the stuff in Relapse, their little magazine they put out, Resound, that was a little catalog magazine. You'd see that in other fanzines, Deceased and Incantation. When I first picked up the Blueprints of Madness, all I had, you know, I knew about Luck of the Corpse demo and 13 Frightened Souls. Still need that one. You know, when I first heard it, I was like, oh, cool, this is more of your actual metal. I was like into brutal death metal, like American black metal, like Incantation and shit. It's into that stuff. So when I heard Deceased, I was like, oh, this is more of like your death style death metal. Your more metal that happens to be death. It's always how I did that in my brain. It was like, oh, it's metal, but it's kind of like death metal. And then there was proto death metal. That's what I was all about. So I liked it, and I was like, oh, that's cool, because I'm not really a metal person. I didn't come from the death thrash world. I didn't come from that world. Came from more of the punk rock, you know, urban scene. So when I listened to it, I liked it because I didn't have anything anything like that. It wasn't like this. It wasn't like that. Like Imbalmer over here. So I liked it because it was different. I liked it because it was more true metal, more real true metal. And then after a long enough timeline, like my Fearless Undead Machines, you know, I kind of didn't like it anymore. I was like, oh, I'm tired of the storytelling. And I got cranky and was like, I don't like the storytelling. I just want like that third generation Discord style brutality, the technical death metal. But then even more time passed, and now I'm like, Deceased is really good. That Discord style technical death metal is less good. So that amazing how your taste change and stuff is coming out. I've fallen back on all the old metal like Sacrifice. Now I'm into Morbid Saint. You know, obviously I've fallen back on Deceased. So you just weird how your taste change. You know, I was always kind of a little bit into black metal, but now the older I get, the more I feel like I consume black metal. Like I really look into it, especially on YouTube, because there's tons of it. The only problem is there's tons of it, and most of it's eh. That guitar tone. Pick. Headbang. There's good songs on this Imbalmer, dude. There's some killer fucking tracks on there. Some sleepers. That's kind of what Imbalmer is. There's some sleeper tracks on there. It's real death metal. I get it. You know, one of those riffs just hits you and you're like, whoa. Imbalmer, Emanations from the Crypt, man. They got, there was blood everywhere. I'm sure there's more, but that's the two I remember because it's the only two I was familiar with. Anyways, new stuff. We got a new Shed the Skin. A couple of new tracks from them. The Mind's Vermin. The Mind's Vermin. Rats of the Mind. Or just vermin are gross and almost parasitical. So that's happening in your mind. That gross, wretched survival. Yeah, I don't know. I get it. The Mind's Vermin. Taken from the Carnage Cast LP. The Carnage Cast Shadows. The Carnage Cast Shadows. I like the names of their stuff, dude. Sorry, I'm a fan. I'm not sorry. Fuck you. I'm not sorry. Shed the Skin's badass. Y'all should listen to Shed the Skin. If you like some old, darker, it's like... It's dark, but it's not black metal. It's death metal, but it's not brutal death metal. It's melodic, but it's not melodic metal. You know, it's some real dark, very mature. Mature as in, we've been doing this a while. The players and the writers have been doing this a while. We, the fans, have been listening for a while. I want a more refined. I want some culture. I want some culture. Shed the Skin is culture for me. That brings me culture. Yeah. Shed the Skin. New stuff coming out. You should check that out. I like Shed the Skin. New Pro Fanatica, Wreathed in Dead Angels. I got a copy of that coming to me. I like Pro Fanatica, man, now. Now I've been, you know, I knew of them, wasn't, Where Angels Weep or Weeping in Heaven or something like that, anyways. That early Pro Fanatica stuff, Weeping in Heaven, that's what it was. I knew of it, but that goes along with, like, Vital Remains. I knew of it, I was aware of it. Icons of Evil, Vital Remains. God damn, that's good. I know Forever Underground is like the album you should get, Forever Underground by Vital Remains, but Icons of Evil, hot damn. That's a mean sounding album. That album just sounds mean as fuck. So, you know, Imprecation, Pro Fanatica, Vital Remains, Infernal Dominion later. You know, I own Infernal Dominion, by the way. I was familiar with it, but it was like, oh, we're just going to be dark and over the top. I mean, I got it, but it wasn't my bag. Now, if they came to town, you better believe I was going to see it, because it's what you do as a metalhead. Like, it's not my top pick of a band, but I'm going to go show them some love and some support. And then just see their stuff live, because sometimes you see the stuff live and it just changes you, dude. You're like, man, that band was good live. Completely changes everything. Happens all the time. That's why you got to see live shows. Sometimes those live sets, they bring such a vibe and an energy that you're like, wow. So that Paul Ludney guy is still fucking rocking. I've listened to that Pro Fanatica de Dominatia, or whatever the fuck, I don't speak Latin. Yeah, it's a harsh album. Whoa, raw and harsh. If you're gonna do it, that's what you're talking. Raw and harsh. But Wreathed in Dead Angels, wow, it's interesting to elevate it, because I was spinning those first two, Weeping in Heaven and Pro Fanatica, or whatever. Spinning those first two over and over again. I was like, I'm gonna see them live, they're gonna play those songs. Let's get pumped for it. And I was like, oh, their new stuff, Wreathed in Dead Angels. Let's check it out. That bass tone. Big sludgy, clangy bass. The slow drum. Into the solo. Good stuff. Imbalmer. Fucking good stuff. Yeah, we jumped in on the back half, so you're listening to the back half of this. So Pro Fanatica, Wreathed in Dead Angels, talk about, like, shed the skin, man. Like, just hearing that evolution of their sound. Immolation's another band I love like that. Bob Vigna, oh my god, that guy's such a good fucking writer. I love listening to, like, the progression going through that catalog and jamming that out, man, and just listening to how that guy grows as a songwriter. I know some people are like, it's the same thing over and over again. It's like, when you really listen to it, it's evolution of a style, evolution of a writing process. And man, I'm really liking Wreathed in Dead Angels and how far they've come in 2025. Jesus, 30-something years. It's a long ass time. Long ass time. Gotta have the Dead by Dawn of the Dead quote. Dead by Dawn. That's a Deicide song. It's also an Evil Dead 2. Dead by Dawn. Comment down below. What do y'all like better, Deicide self-titled or Deicide Once Upon the Cross? If those were your only two choices, which one would you choose? I don't know if I can answer that question. I mean, I want to say the self-titled one because that was like the killer one, but Once Upon the Cross has got some really good songs on it. Children of the Underworld, Behind the Light, Thou Shalt Rise. Good stuff. I mentioned Lord Humongous. My new favorite song. Oh my god, just like the song I'm just spinning like crap. I can't wait to. I can't get raped by nukes. Justin ran out, but I got the rehearsals. The Bullet Farmer. That song. Spin that song. Bullet Farmer. Listen to that one a few times, man. That's a catchy tune right there. The female vocals, I guess it's female vocals in there. They're a little weird. I get what they're doing, but it sound a little weird. I don't know why. It sound out of place and out of tune, but maybe that's by design. So I keep spinning it thinking, it's going to click in and make sense why they did it that way. But other than that, oh my god, that song is just a constant respin. How have I lived without Lord Humongous? How have I lived without that? I don't know, but I won't have to live much longer without it. I'll get that rehearsal demos in soon. I can can spin that and work out and feel all good about myself. Alright, that's music rest recommendations. Now for all you patient motherfuckers who want to see 40k models. Here's my Terminator squad. Or my fallen Imperial fists. Look at them eyes, bro. I glazed those eyes. I even got a Tyranid skull up there. Look at that. Oh, that's a human skull. Damn, I nailed that one. I fucking nailed that one. Look at that. That skull up there. Booyah. I can't point to it. There it is. Yeah, he's got that little rhino helmet. Yeah. Oh, look, a little Acadian Guardsman head on there, too. Yeah. And that's why we like our Chaos Space Marines. Yeah, threw those blue tassels up here. Let's give it some contrast. Whatever the opposite of yellow was, I went with that. I mean, and blue tassels go with those green eyes. Of course, it did have green eyes because you actually see his face in that one. Anyways, won't focus. That Reaper autocannon. I got a Dark Angel's helmet on there. Oh yeah. Just painted that real quick. Oh my god, I can see a mold line. Can y'all see it? There's a mold line in there. I missed the mold line. If you go on Reddit, those talk shit to you apparently. Or is it Twitter? One of them they talk major shit about your painting skills. I figured I'd put my models up here where you could see my models and see me and then see you talk shit. Yeah, you won't. You won't. Because you're looking at my shit. I did this with my own 2 hands and a bunch of brushes. Fortune in fucking paint. Yeah, I nailed those skulls, y'all. And here's the sergeant guy, I guess is whatever you call him, the aspiring champ, with his beat stick. If I could put a mace on a character or whatever, or a model, if I can put a beat stick like a mace, I'm fucking doing it. Yeah, it's supposed to be tattered flesh, I think, in his loincloth there. And that's what I was going for. Oh, with a skull down there, too. I didn't even notice there's a skull hanging down there. Yeah. Or maybe it was just blood-drenched cloth. I have no idea. One of these guys had a melta. I don't remember which one it was. Probably the first one. Oh, yeah, I got a Tyranid skull up there, too. I thought one of them had an orc skull. I may be wrong. Oh, yeah, there it is. He's got an orc skull on one side, a Tyranid skull on the other. Yeah. And, oh, that was the end of the album. Well, I'll show you one thing. What Chaos Space Marine Terminator Squad would not be complete without Sorcerer Terminator. Yeah. I got him looking the other way from his gun. He's using prescience. So his gun he just looks and his hand goes there and he's already looking to cast his mind bullets on someone else. Yeah. I'll put a blue glaze in that shaft. I think you can see it with that little pendant in the middle. Yeah, and that eye. Put a little blue glaze in there. Oh, yeah. Bring that out. Make that look pretty. Look at that black shoulder pad. Yeah, that shoulder pad was done that way because Imperial Fist, they're veterans. have black shoulder pads, pauldrons, excuse me. Somebody in 40K is going, excuse me, they're pauldrons. The pauldron is black because that's what their officers do. Or their veterans and veteran officers. Look, you even got that book right there. Look at that. Again, I think that book was recessed. I didn't draw that in there. Because the sorcerer is reading his spell book. But, yeah, and a skull on that gun, too. Yeah. Yeah, I messed up on those bullets. They're all brass. It's supposed to be brass with iron in there. Ah, look at that. I'm criticizing my own work. But anyways, there's my Terminator Sorcerer. And you listened to Imbalmer, and we talked about a bunch of music and shit. Anyways, I'm Cattle Prod, your Appalachian warlord. Remember, if it's not voluntary, it's tyranny.